Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm playing 8-Point Austria. This is a 4v4 tow battle. I'm currently spawned at an LOC and opposing me is 10-Point France. I'm not quite sure the year, maybe someone in the comments can let me know, I just can't remember. But for an Austrian army, I'm not carrying a lot of mass, and the reason for that is because I've spent all my money on some quite nice light cavalry and some insanely overpowered Jaegers light infantry. So I'm just garrisoning my grenadiers into the LOC, and I'm seeing a lot of French infantry barreling through the swamps there. And we can also see the cuirassiers, so having an army that cannot form that many squares, I'm bed a little bit. Here we can see the battle for the swamps has begun on the left. Massive skirmisher formations firing at each other. Now guys, as an 8-pointer against a 10-pointer, usually the wise thing to do is simply to run away. But I thought in this situation that this LOC being right next to the swamps, it's quite a defensible position, simply because cavalry can't really act that quickly through it. So, you know, sometimes you've just got to stand your ground and fight, which is what I chose to do this game. And you'll see that it quickly becomes an absolute bloodbath for this LOC. It did get to the point where if I had decided to retreat, I probably would have lost my army. So I just had to stay in there, come what may, and just fight to the bitter end. And I was saved because I had bought these units here.
You the best.
Yo, listen. Don't just say that shit because I'm asking you.
Anyway, guys, I laugh at my own jokes. That probably wasn't that funny. But the Austrian Jaegers are incredibly overpowered. Maybe not overpowered, but their shooting stats are very juicy, very nice, and they will just melt anything that's in front of them. So I kind of had a little secret weapon for the French here to experience. And they're currently out on the left flank, so I need to bring them back into the main action. As I'm seeing this entire French army just coming out the woods, and currently all I've got there is these guys, just some filler infantry. So I'm using my cav just to slow them down a bit, because I know that if they collapse onto my infantry, I'm pretty much done at this point. And I am seeing that heavy cav in the back, and keeping an eye on it quite intently. I do have my field gun set up and firing out canister. At this point in the game, I'm thinking that I could do a juicy little move and pull the grenadiers out of the LOC. Also, this unit that I'm advancing out of the line is a grenadier unit as well. And I'm just thinking, do the unexpected, throw them into melee, they might not see it coming, and it could throw the game, or at least this engagement in my favour. But I'm panicking a bit here because this cav has opened a gap for itself and it's gone through for the guns. And they almost make it. Canister, 3 rounds of canister straight into the front of them, and that sends them packing, so that was very lucky. I should have defended my guns a little bit better there, and it was just luck that I managed to keep them after that. And here we see the grenadiers coming out of the LOC, attacking the French melee, although they're getting stuck in this little swampy terrain and they can't make it in there, so they're just getting shot up to pieces, which is quite unfortunate. And now the French cuirassiers are throwing themselves in there. All I've got to counter them are Austrian light cav, so I'm just doing the best I can. I'm fully expecting to lose these units in a melee with the heavy cav, although we're putting them on the red line. Grenadiers not doing too well out there, and I do unfortunately lose the guns, which I was expecting. But behind the guns I've got set up my insanely powered light infantry, overpowered light infantry, so we'll see the effect that they have. But overall, just looking at this scene, it's an absolute mess. This is probably 5 minutes into this game, which ran for a full 70 minutes, and you can already see how much devastation has come about next to this LOC. And at this point, I'm just out of cavalry, essentially. I've used it all up trying to slow down the French. Here we go, guys. Things are not looking too great at the moment. The French are redlining in a few places, but I do not have a whole lot left to keep them back with. Although my light infantry is laying down the law. And you see the absolute devastation that these guys cause. There we go. We're seeing the French start to turn around now. It's just untenable to advance into this infantry. It's just so incredibly powerful that you just cannot defeat it with infantry alone. So now we're sort of seeing that the momentum of the French assault is beginning to stall. The light infantry is turning their back. They have caught my full infantry there, but I'm not too worried about losing that. You see the Russian cav coming up in the back, taking some units out, and that's it, folks. The French have lost all their momentum. I've managed to hold. I did lose the LOC, and I did think that instead of pursuing him to finish him off, my troops would be better used elsewhere in the battle, seeing as there was a massive engagement going on, and I wasn't quite sure what the outcome was going to be there. So I won't play the full game because it did drag on for a full 70 minutes, and I'm sure you've got better things to do. I just wanted to show you how brutal this mod can be sometimes. You know, within the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, we've got an entire army facing destruction. My army's been quite severely weakened. I've lost all my cavalry, and just goes to show the pace that this kind of this warfare can take. It's quite frightening how quickly things can happen. You don't really think that the Napoleonic period was a fast-paced period in time, but actually thousands of people can die in a matter of minutes. So I just thought this was quite an interesting little engagement that I thought I'd show you guys. If you've got any feedback, make sure to let me know. Any comments, I'll be happy to respond to them. Yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.